Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Welcome to the new moon in Leo reading. This energy is across the zodiac from you. Some could call it an opposition, but I really think it's a balancing energy when we reach across the zodiac. So this new moon is conjunct Leo. It's conjunct Venus. But it also has all this other energy that it's playing out with it. It is a very big opportunity to really drill down into the desire of what it is you want. So this new moon happens on Wednesday, the 16th at 5:38 a.m. Eastern Time Zone here in the U.S. Interesting. And so check the time zone calculator in the description box below if you want to know what time it happens for you. But there's also this, this is such a big moon. I did a video on it, and the link for that video is in my Facebook group. So if you follow the link below to Facebook, where I do the astrology every day, you can get to that easily. I pinned it to the top so it won't get lost. Wow, you have a lot going on. You have the tree of growth. Look at all this green here. You've got strength and consistency. So asparagus dragon and the little spinach dragon, strength and consistency. That's Leo energy. And then look at the size of this massive tree that is the overall energy of growth and opportunity. The energy to anchor into is this rider. This is this moving forward, this taking action. And so there is a lot happening. You have both riders going on here. There's two. There's the slower one and there's the faster one. And in the energy of resources, you have the slower one. And this is around financial, but it's also mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever your resources, knowledge, wisdom. And so there's a need to take it at a slower pace. Mercury is currently, by the time you see this, it will be in storm. It gets into storm on Tuesday the 15th. And this energy of really slowing that down, and it stations retrograde on the 23rd. Uranus, your ruling planet, is also moving incredibly slow and stations retrograde on the 28th. And so there is this real slowing down of the energy. A lot of planets are retrograde, and it has given us a chance to review and to revise and to create a new plan of action, right? Especially with Mercury in Virgo, which is about the strategy and the reorganization. And so it's a chance to really look at what direction you want to go. So when it comes to managing your resources, look how he's moving forward, and she's kind of looks like she's moving in the other direction. It is about going back, taking a look at some of the details for you. So in the area of transformation, you have the snake. There's two snakes in here. So sometimes the snake has a very positive connotation of transformation, and it is in the house of transformation, but this snake isn't the positive one. He looks like he's about to strike. I think that there is a sudden event out of nowhere. Watch her step, right? She's moving slowly, and she's actually moving toward the snake on here. I think you're going to find something. If you will slow down and go back and take a look at whatever your life it is that you're trying to transform, there is a long-awaited change around resources that is happening. I feel like there might be a little pitfall. Check and make sure that you are paying attention to your emails. Because communication is going to be garbled, things can get lost. Make sure you check, your spam. Make sure nothing important slid through. I feel like there's something that, with caution, you can catch it. I don't think this says, oh, it's going to happen. I think this means there's a potential, and it can be managed, because here is the key to the situation. We have the resources, which here it is about going back over stuff, checking to see if you got charged for something you weren't supposed to, and maybe you can get the money put back into your account or something like that. And so the key to the situation is the resources. And so this is the going back and taking, paying attention, but it also comes with the stork, which is about creating a long-awaited change. But this stork is interesting because there's a pair of them, and he's sitting on the nest. He's sitting on the nest. And so there's an opportunity, a new opportunity coming in for you that will create a change. And the action to take, we have the card of strategy. We have the fox who's trying to figure out how to get the resources, the fish, right? With Mercury in retrograde and everything going slow, and that is the card, when Mercury is in Virgo, that is about strategy. And it's also your 8th house of transformation if you are an Aquarius rising. So there is this energy here of really wanting, I'm not saying you can't find the right answer, because of course you can. But you're not going to get it by racing into it. You're going to get it by going slow and looking over the details. If something in your life is not the way you would like it to be, you're not happy at your job, you're not happy in the relationship, you're not happy at whatever with your bank account, where haven't you been consistent with your goals? It's almost like aligning the actions with the expectation of the results. Because here we have this consistency. So let's talk about money, right? So are you one of those people that goes on a spending spree, and then all of a sudden at the end of the month you're like, crap, right? Were you consistently having the strength to say, I can't buy that today. I don't have the money for that today. I will have the money for that, but today I'm managing my resources. I don't like it when we say that we don't have the money, because that's sort of like saying to the universe, I never have enough money, and we don't ever want to do that, right? But you can say, I am paying attention to my resources. I'm managing my resources well. I manage my resources well. And I make judicious decisions about when it is appropriate timing to spend that money. And it may not be right now. And so paying attention to that, going over things with a fine-tooth comb, really paying attention to the details. Because here in the area of news and information, there's this independent, this is such an Aquarius card. There's this independence just sitting there, very alert and waiting for stuff to come to you. And I think it's a really good way to do this right now. Keeping it nice and slow. In the area of anxiety, we have the key. And so there is this impatience around resources and when are things going to shift and change, and what action to take is creating a little bit of the stressors too. And so it isn't about, it's not working harder, it's working smarter, which I feel like I'm preaching to the choir when I'm talking to Aquarius. So other planets and placements could be involved in this situation. And how do you get the information that you need to do this? It's by being open to receiving it, right? Being open to receiving it. And in the heart space, we have this moon, this intuition. So really being consistent in your actions, but seeking the information that you need, right? It's the water that feeds the tree that allows it to grow. It's going to be from your emotional waters, number one, but also the clarity that comes in when you work with your intuition, right? The fox is looking for the fish that are in the stream, but he's going to get his feet wet. I think we just ate one of your cards here. Oh, we don't need to be eating cards. Okay, so the great thing about material things, those that you have and those that you don't, is they never lie about what you've been thinking. So holding the vision, managing the resources, not saying I never have enough. I want to show you something. Look at this. You have the giant redwood that showed up. There is a lot of growth potential here. The best thing about every financial meltdown, global or otherwise, is learning that whatever was lost can be recreated, exceeded, and made better than it was before. And made better than it was before. It's going to require, though, you to have strength and be very consistent. So, Aquarius has a tendency, most Aquariuses I know, they're very strategic, and there's a lot of, they're really good with money. Your third house, which is your daily activities, especially if you're Aquarius rising, and how you manage resources, is Taurus, right? Well, no, that's the fourth house. I'm getting this Taurus energy. Well, the North Node is in Aries right now. Because it's about risk. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, where were we? They showed me something. Thank you. The stock market. And it's the consistency. It's not not being fear driven, right? Not being fear driven and being in it for the long haul. That over time wins. So, if you know that things are going to grow and you believe that, there's something about the strategy that's involved here. It's a little confusing right now, but I think that, and again, this tree, this one's a tree too that's really tall. Look at the angle on that. And I got to tell you, most of these pictures in here are not of trees, right? So there's opportunity, there's potential for growth. It starts though with a solid foundation and being really rooted and grounded in, right? So trust the process. You have the dragonfly spirit of change. This is a spiritual development though. When I look at the dragonfly, it's flying over the emotional waters and there's the water flow. And so this is the change that happens here, right? I feel like you fell into some kind of a unseen trap, and it's caused you to have to rethink, to revise, to make some kind of an edit on the way you do things, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing at all. So this card is letting you know that it is all right to change directions. It's okay to change your mind. You do not need to be consistent at every turn. Ooh, interesting, because consistency showed up here. This is the time to put traditions and expectations aside. Instead, you're being called on to create your own traditions. You are free to express yourself and let your spirit fly. There you go. That is Aquarius. Go beyond predictable behavior. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean that it needs to continue to be done that way. While you can't control the exact circumstances of your life, you can control what meaning you give them. Remember, whatever it is that you're thinking is what you're going to create. Oh, I love it when they tell an Aquarius to be yourself. I'm like, preach. Like you guys don't already know that. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's get just a little bit more advice here, but I think the answer here is that there is a change happening. The growth is happening. And it might be growth that you don't necessarily see at this time. And I do think you need to be consistent with your dream and consistent with your thoughts regarding the fact that there's prosperity on the offer. And strategy right now is going to be a little harder to come by. So really paying attention to what you're feeling. So you have collaboration of souls. This is connecting in with your higher self. There could be somebody, though, there is a partnership opportunity here. Magic happens when you expect it most. They already said that. Moving beyond intention to belief, right? If you believe you will be successful, you will. My son, I have 2 Aquarius children, but my son, the Aquarian, he is so freaking lucky. Like, I'm going to enter that contest and I'm going to win it. Now, sometimes the contest requires him to get out there and hustle. And so he gets out there and hustle. And sometimes it's about, picking the right number of jelly beans and he'll nail it. And he knows he's lucky. He's decided he's lucky. He knows he's lucky. He knows that. He believes it with every fiber of his being. So whether he hustles to create the luck or he just, he says, you make your own luck, Mom. And he's not wrong. He's absolutely right. You make your own luck. And part of the way he makes his own luck is he just truly believes that he's lucky. When he was in college, he graduated. He graduated with less than $10,000 in student loan debt. And trust me, it wasn't because he got help from me. All right. And so that's what he did. But he did it by creating his own luck, by being an RA and working and doing that stuff. But more than that, he applied for every freaking scholarship that came up. He received scholarships. He is not black, okay? He's not. But there were scholarships designed to encourage and to support diversity of people, but they have to pay out those scholarships every year, and not enough diversity of people were applying for the scholarships. He got scholarships that were designed for women. Just whatever. They were for programs that he wasn't even in, but because they had to release the money, that is part of how that works, and not enough people would apply. This kid was making scholarship hand over fist. He made his own luck. So where are you missing the opportunities? Where are you not taking a risk? I mean, who would look at, that would be like me going in. I was in nutrition and dietetics, and we're at college at the same time. What that would have been me having enough sense to do what he was doing. I didn't know what he was doing. I would have done it, to apply for a scholarship for somebody who was studying construction. I was definitely not studying that, but if they weren't getting rid of all the scholarships, I might have gotten something, right? And so it's looking for the opportunities. It's paying attention. Where is there an opportunity? How can you manifest through the available opportunities? How are you managing your resources? And he had one form, basic form letter that he used for all the scholarships, and then he would just go in and tweak it with a few words, phrases here or there, and send them out. He would sit down on a Saturday and apply for like 20 scholarships, and he was averaging, like $15,000 in scholarship a semester. He should have told me. All right, so we have celebrate your wins, right? So there is nothing like gratitude to open yourself up to more opportunities. The joy in your heart when you win adds to your belief that you can do it. And so it builds and it stacks up. So believe in yourself. What does this say? Magic happens when you expect it most. So when you celebrate the wins, which by the way has a key on it. The key is this, that I know that the flow of abundance is coming in. There's a long way to change. I believe that. And focus on that. And you know what? It doesn't hurt to celebrate it before it even happens. You can just know it's going to happen. You make your own magic. So go make some magic in your own life. All right, Aquarius, you guys take really good care. I'm on Facebook every day. Do the astrology. That's also where you're going to find that really long video that had a lot of information in it. So I'd love to see you come over, join the group, leave a comment, be in the drawing for the free reading. I like that. Talk about making your own luck. All right, you guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon.